Fasoo will be presenting about the unstructured data security and also talk about companies' data management and data security related issues. During the course of the presentation, I will first touch why we have data problems, especially about the unstructured data, then how these problems are created, examine what they are, and how to approach to resolve these problems. Let me start with a snapshot of Fasoo. Fasoo is a spin-out company from Samsung and has been providing data security solutions in enterprise space for quite some time. The company currently holds about 250 employees, and the majority of them have security consulting and engineering backgrounds. Fasoo has implemented data security solution for little more than 1,500 organizations globally and has an install base of over 2.7 million users. The average size of deployment is between 500 and 2,000 users, but does also have many sizable deployment cases that could go from 10,000 to 100,000. We are experiencing continuous improvement in our global market position based on the success in data security. This slide shows the full product and services offered by Fasoo. Fasoo initially had a focus only on data-centric security and secure collaboration platforms, then expanded its offering to application security, big data privacy, and many others. Before we move forward, let us review how organizations are handling data. Many organizations believe knowledge management is critical to their business operation. And there's no doubt that digitalized files help organizations to share knowledge efficiently. But organizations face enormous challenges in managing those data. Most companies have relatively less issues on structured data since they can be identified where they are located. Well, when you're talking about unstructured data, especially the data stored at endpoints and file servers, which average up to 80% of organizational data, then various problems are created. The latest Databerg report has revealed that a very large percentage of data collected and stored by organizations are useless, unknown, and unused. Well, the biggest problem is that enormous number of data is vulnerable. We can easily guess that almost all dark data is unstructured and localized. So what are the problems? First of all, silo issues. Organizations use multiple repositories, and each repository has its own access control and management policies, causing conflicts and often result in redundancies and security issues. Silo issues can lead to redundant, obsolete, and trivial data problems, and various infrastructure and maintenance overhead costs as well. Also, dealing with sizable data, not knowing where they are, and unable to control can cause governance and compliance challenges. So without a question, unstructured data is definitely giving lots of headaches to organization in both security and productivity aspects. So let us see why we have information management silos. As we embrace a digital transformation, the way we communicate and manage digital assets have changed dramatically. There are many communication channels like email, messengers, and conferencing tools, also many kinds of repository serving its own purposes, and even more security options go with it. So what is ROT and how do we end up with these data? As many of you know, ROT stands for redundant, obsolete, and trivial. ROT data is constantly generated as users touch digital files. When users save as, copy, download, email, and even through workflow and repository systems. And oftentimes, systems recognize the same document differently. Well, is there anyone who has the identical file in different file folders? Are we also attaching numerous versions on emails? How about downloading new versions from document management because it cannot find the right file? Guess what? We have lots of active users, and it means many of us will end up with ROT data. This slide shows the recent survey result from AIM Research, and the outcome of this survey is basically saying to improve information management, file sharing, file security, and file tracing are critical factors. But as we discussed on previous slide, having sizable data equates more challenges. And it's not easy to improve file sharing, security, and tracing with traditional models. Let us review how we manage information. Many of the communication tools we use today are either repository-centric or message-centric. I have to admit these solutions are very useful and important, but we have to look carefully and see if these communication methods are not causing issues. For example, when we are working on proposals, multiple project members interactively communicate and share files. Over the course of communications, we end up with numerous files and versions on endpoints, repository, and even on communication systems. In other words, we are ignoring disconnection, redundancy, and inefficiency using location-centric or message-centric systems. Interestingly enough, we have identified data is center of knowledge sharing and learned having metadata-driven information management could resolve many of the unstructured data challenges. Just imagine the information managing environment that no matter where a data is traveling, security and all management capability travel with the data. Metadata-driven and content-centric solution will assure that core information management functionalities are always available no matter where the data is located, allowing organizations to avoid information disconnect, redundancy, and enable the efficient knowledge sharing environment. This slide shows some of the key features of data-centric solution Rhapsody. Users can always access up-to-date content by opening their local documents and collect all information associated with the content right from the document, enabling a data-centric knowledge management. Also, Rhapsody enables file-level access control, allowing only authorized users to access the content. The solution is metadata-driven and automated, that users can work on their document from their rendering applications, and Rhapsody automatically populates the content as if users are using a content management system, all enabled based on metadata without user interventions. In addition, the solution automatically provides file backup when users are just creating or editing documents, and allowing them to instantly back up and restore when necessary. A good use case would be a ransomware. In case of ransomware infection, users can retrieve all information so they do not have to worry about decrypting the file. Also, organizations could collect content usage of users which reflects real user behaviors, not the system logs, allowing companies to deeply understand and analyze and come out with valuable insight. So how can we define Rhapsody? Rhapsody is metadata-driven content services platform that enables data-centric security and collaboration. Organizations can empower their security and build better information governance by eliminating complexity and inefficiencies. Creating and sharing documents can become a very simple process. By saving a document gets encrypted automatically. And by selecting who can access the document, the selected user receives an auto-generated notification at their desktop and email. No need for users to move around the collaboration application, but work directly from the document. A tag can be automatically added to the document based on the owner's information, and users who have access to the document can manually add appropriate tags. Unlike a conventional encryption solution, Rhapsody enables dynamic certificate-based encryption that users do not have to worry about managing their private keys, since one-time usable private key will be generated from the policy server. On top of it, no matter where the data travels, security travels with the data at all times, and data-centric access control helps organizations to reduce threat surface caused by giving too much permission, like file folders or repository, which makes a very, very secure environment. Another big security challenge is ransomware. Many organizations and individuals believe they are well prepared from ransomware threats, but not every user is adequate, and there are always users as ransomware damage or for other purposes like compliance requirements. Most organizations have file backup policies. Yet, whether they have daily or weekly backup policies, there is always going to be a gap, and backup can be time-consuming and redundancies causing rot issues. Rhapsody is enabling auto file backup when users work on the localized data using their rendering application, and every version can be instantly retrieved at any time. Also, Rhapsody has a specific ransomware backup feature that will allow users to back up metadata of all localized files at their PC. This feature can be very useful not only from the ransomware recovery, but also in many other use cases. Enterprises are using many kinds of repositories, including file servers, Alfresco, SharePoint, and many others. Using the metadata of document, Rhapsody can automatically provide a view of email client perspective that documents that you need to access is listed like as if you are accessing Outlook client. Rhapsody can also provide ECM-like look and feel web application, and content showing on the web is generated automatically based on the metadata. Depending on users' preference, documents can also be identified with the File Explorer's view. Tag-based filtering lookup is also available as if you are using social platform and many more. So in a nutshell, Rhapsody provides content services automatically using metadata relating to the content regardless of data location. Being a data-centric could deliver many values. Using the data-centric strategy, organizations can assure that whether it's the security nor the content management, they will always have a consistent policy. Also, you can track document usage at all times, very important from compliance and auditing point of view. Getting back to location-centric solutions, It definitely has benefits for its own purpose, but often causing silo security and productivity issues. For example, let us think about board meeting use case. Have you experienced cases where the last minute change and sharing multiple versions through emails and gets confused? How about putting together proposals, selecting right version of contract boilerplate or price list or technical data sheet and many more? Rhapsody can always guarantee you have the latest version of document, including one sit on your desktop using persistent content ID embedded to the document. This is called content virtualization technology. Using the content virtualization, Rhapsody can provide the content at any time using rendering applications or browsers at desktop or using mobile apps from smartphones or tablets. Rhapsody is gathering many useful information as the content is being created or edited by multiple users at various endpoints. By doing so, the solution can collect very rich context information associated with the data and provide business insight that could drive digital transformation and improve processes. In summary, I would say Rhapsody is more than just security, compliance, and content management solution. It has a potential to become the knowledge management platform that could drive growth and deliver value to organizations. Due to the limited time constraint, I don't think I could go through the details of Fasoo Enterprise DRM solution. So I will go through each slide very quickly and point out its key features. The diagram is indicating that Fasoo DRM products are using context information, including location, classification, user's role, device application, and time to transcribe access right of protected document. This slide is showing how a document gets automatically encrypted when a data is leaving the repository on the fly to extend its security. And when a user with view-only permission is accessing the document, the user is able to only read, and all other menus can be disabled with the solution. The solution is also capable of blocking unauthorized screen captures, as you can see from the slide. Also has ability to control clipboard actions to prevent unauthorized content extraction. Fasoo also has ability to inherit security policy to derivative files when a user tries to save or save as a different file name or even change the file formats like PDF, then the security policy of original documents gets inherited and files maintain consistent security policies. This slide is illustrating cases that Fasoo solution can enforce dynamic watermark on printout. And this is an example of someone taking a photo shot using their smartphones or camera. Fasoo also carries screen security solution. As you saw from the previous slide, Fasoo can display dynamic watermark not only on the printout, but also capable of displaying identical watermark information on the screen when a sensitive document is being accessed. So we are at the last slide of the first session. As you may have guessed, all user activities on the protected document can be tracked and managed. Using the reporting console, administrators can trace all activities of authorized and unauthorized actions relating to sensitive documents. The usage log information is stored at the database, and if required, such information can also be picked up by various SIM tools for further analysis. Okay, that is the end of the Fasoo presentation.